Okay, the fuel tank is now back in. Just clear some of this rubbish out. So this is a new high pressure fuel hose, sort of routed through, ready to cut back a bit and put on the sender, on this connection on the sender. I don't know how small the German engineer's hands are, but you can see that Jubilee clip there. So that's the breather pipe that I was talking about, that comes sort of off the middle of the tank, through the chassis and up to there. So the only real way of putting it on is put it on the tank, poke it through the chassis, which was difficult because the pipe I've used is sort of slightly thicker walled, so I had to put some WD-40 in, get it through all the way up there, pull it through up here longer. I did blow down it just to make sure it wasn't kinked or anything, and then basically you've got to feed it up there with your hand and a bit of screwdriver pressure and get it on there and tighten it up. But yeah, so I've done that. The other side of it is the breather one that goes to the charcoal filter, to that. You can see the other side of it, I don't know, yeah, you can see that pipe there. The other pipe that's split and cracked, that's the return from that. It must go sort of in the inner wing, back round and then back across. So I'm going to end up replacing that with flexible pipe as well. But yeah, a bit awkward and a bit tight. I'll just take the lift up and show you from underneath how I've routed the pipe. Turn the lift back on. I'm just about to go home, to be fair. Kind of went together pretty much okay. Just got to watch when you put in the that breather pipe, that you sort of keep feeding it through as the tank goes up, and check that it's not kinked. It's quite easy to kink it. I'll just get it up in the air a bit more so I can show you the pipe. So where I've cut the pipe is basically there. You can see the rest of the pipe is pretty good. There's where I've joined it. Runs up. Use some of the original clip and a bit of cable tie-in. Goes up. Original clip. And sort of goes up there. You just got to watch it doesn't kink when it goes up there. But I'm pretty happy. It's a nice curve on it. Then you can see this is where that's the original pipe. So that's where I'm going to run the flexible pipe with the P-clips up. And then back to, well, that pipe there that the end of the light's pointing to. That's the outlet. Once it's been through the inner wing, I think the accumulator's in there. This is the end of the breather, which I'm going to chop off. I'm going to get rid of that and just run flexible. It's all pretty knackered at the front. Might use just that end bit possibly. You can see the cage is all back on, and you can see the outlets ready, just blanked off. So that's about, I don't know why my phone was flashing then. So yeah, so it all went together okay. So that kind of strapping affair, I might even cut this spongy rubber off, so I slit it all the way down and cable tie that over the pipe while I could P-clip it up there, just to protect it a bit more. But the pipe I've used is pretty damn thick stuff. It's not cheap crap. I think it can take so many 100 psi. It's really strong stuff. But yeah, all the bolts went back together okay. So yeah, that's one pipe done. Obviously the other one can be done. I'm going to use that end bit. That's the curved end bit that goes. I've just hooked it up out of the way, but I'm just going to use the end few inches of that to go onto the fuel filter, etc. And then the rest of this up here, you can see, follow it round. You can see that's just knackered. This one is the breather pipe, and this one is the return, or the outlet, sorry. I think behind there is like the accumulator, whatever it is. So I'm assuming that's got metal joins on, but I'll probably cut that back just before the accumulator both sides and put flexible in it. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it, but bit of a fiddly job. if I'd known what I know now, I'd probably try and get the breather pipe I used. I think it was 16mm internal diameter. I'd probably see if I can get something that's thinner walled, because it was quite thick walled and it only just went through the chassis hole. If I had something that was a bit thinner walled, it probably would have gone through a bit easier, but then again, maybe it wouldn't have been as tough. What was through there was like a braided sort of stuff. I don't know if I've got the old bit. If I've got the old bit here. See me crisp. No, I can't find the old bit, but the fuel pipe was absolutely knackered. The bit that went up over the axle that I showed you previously on the picture, once I sort of started touching it, I had little sprays of fuel coming out of it. That's how rusty it was. Looks fine inside, it's just the external that was rusty, but just a bit of a nightmare really. I've ran the wiring round this way. I'm going to put it behind that strap and clip it up to the fuel pipe, and it's probably going to come round this way. Before it went over the top of the tank, but there's quite a few places where it was really trapped. I mean, I think the wiring's fine, I'll know when I connect the gauge, but I just thought, well, if it's there, it goes straight through a grommet up there, just up where the end of the light is, into the engine bay. Well, not engine bay, sorry, into the boot. So then if there is an issue with the wiring, I can chop it above and pull it round and route it this way. And I can see it, rather than run it over the top of the tank, because I don't know if it should be or not. It looked like in a few places it had been trapped and squashed, which obviously it's probably fine, but it's not ideal. It's not really meant to be like that. It probably should be routed on the outside, I would imagine. I don't know, but that's the way mine's going anyway. So yeah, I'm going home now. A successful day, tank's back in. Got a new fuel pump, new filter to put on. Yeah, and then I'm going to do the return, take them inner wing panels off, do the return, and do that, this line. I mean, the fact that this is broke just when I've touched it right at the top near the filler neck shows that at some point it would have started smelling, because, you know, you get vapours at the top of the filler neck, that's the highest part, you'll get vapours there. So I would have started getting fuel smells inside the car, because it was going up in the inner wing. So it's, to be fair, I probably should have, like I've said on the other video, what I probably should have, the first thing I probably should have done would be take the tank out and clean it and sort all the fuel pipes out. That's probably next time, if I ever did another one, that's what I would do first. I'm not saying that's caused any of the running issues or whatever, but it could be that that's, it could be that crap in the fuel and no filter inside the tank has got into the fuel pump and clogged the fuel pump, which could have caused some of my running problems, because I think it's got worse the more I've run it. So that could be the case. So if I would have stripped the tank straight away and sorted that outlet first, it probably still would have ended up putting a new pump on anyway, to be fair. But just for anybody else who's doing one, if you're thinking of starting one, I would say do the fuel tank first. And then you know your fuel tank's sorted and clean, and put a new filter on. And if there is crap at the front, then your filter will stop it. And you can always change the filter after you've had it running a bit, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put a new filter and new pump on. But yeah, so another progress report, getting there now. So hopefully over next week I should get all the pipes sorted and it back up and running again. And then we'll see if that sorts out the running faults. We'll see what it runs like then. If it doesn't run right, then I'm going to check the fuel pressures. Once I've been able to get it running, ticking over. If the fuel pressures are out of spec, I'm going to look at the warm-up regulator next. I've been trying to avoid doing that because I don't want to really get in. I know you can adjust, you can make them adjustable by drilling a hole in the bottom, so you can adjust them. So I think if it doesn't run right after this, once I've set up the timing and stuff, then it's warm-up regulator next. So then I'll do a vid of that rebuild. If you're enjoying the vids and you're in the same boat as me, give me some comments. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me if I have actually done anything right. If anybody knows an easier way of putting the tank in with that breather pipe, I'm sure I can't be missing. I'm sure it's got to go in the way I've put it in, but anyway. Yeah, give me a shout. Give me some, if you want to subscribe. I'm going to be doing loads more videos. There's going to be loads more stuff to do on it. I can see that now, which is kind of what I expected. I'll end up going through the whole car eventually. But once it's running and driving, then I can start going through the suspension and all that kind of stuff, and electrics and whatever. But we're on the road. We're getting there. Okay, I'll speak to you next time.